Welcome, everybody. Welcome to yet another
Teddygram
pandemic version.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to all of you from around the world.
From around the world.
Omaha, welcome. That's in Nebraska.
Raleigh, hello. Hello, Indonesia.
Italy, buongiorno.
France.
Las Vegas.
Michigan.
Vermont, yes, has a very special place in my heart.
Scotland.
Ukraine.
New York, yes, of course. Concrete jungle where viruses travel rapidly. There's nothing it can't do.
Chile.
Brazil.
Portugal. We are all one people, are we not? People of the virus.
Hello, Saskatoon.
How are you, friends?
I am coming to you live from New York City.
And we're stuck at home. Where else would we rather be? In the midst of a global pandemic.
Vibes of joy and healing. Are you well? Breathe deep. What is going on?
We're at the point where it's like, what day is it? Where do I live? What planet? What planet is this? Is it the Milky Way? Are we still in the Milky Way?
I am here in Astoria, Queens. I do see people going by from time to time. I feel like the old man who wants to yell out the window, get away from my house. Get away. Go back. Not welcome here.
Are you following the rules? Yeah, I know they're not rules. I can feel some of you bristling. Don't listen to the man. I get it. I don't get why some people... These are rules, okay? By the way, they're rules. Stay inside. You shouldn't be out. Like, scientists, people that are smarter than you. You know what scientist means? It means you need to shut the fuck up and listen. That's what a scientist is. They spent a lot of time indoors learning things so that now you can stay indoors. That's the cycle of science. Ultimately, they want everyone indoors learning. Is that such a bad thing?
It's insanity, is it not? Do you vacillate? Do you vacillate between what the fuck is going on and it's all meant to be? There are no accidents. Unless it's a mutating virus.
Queens, I think, New York City is the epicenter of the pandemic, and Queens, of the 5 boroughs, I believe, has the highest numbers. And I've been wondering more and more, am I among those numbers? That's my first cough. I'm allowed, I think, 3 and I'm out, right? That's the rule?
Vibes of joy and healing.
How many of you suspect you might have the coronavirus right now? How many of you in the last week have said, you know what, I think I've got it? How many of you have said that? I've said it like 4 times a day.
Excuse me. I've contracted a virus.
I constantly go through these feelings where I'm convinced, yeah, I guess I have it. It's been a good run. And then 10 minutes later, I'm like, I guess I was just belching. Wash your hands. Have you been washing? What song do you sing? I sing Hey Jude. I think my hands have aged about 20 years during the pandemic because I've washed them more times in the last 3 weeks than I have in the entirety of my 51 years. I have washed my hands. I wake up, I wash them. I brush my teeth, I wash them. I floss, I wash them. My hands have aged into the danger demographic, right? Isn't it like 70 and over? I've got the hands of a 70-year-old now. So now my hands are at risk of contracting the virus before I do. The other rules are like, don't go outside. Do not go outside. And people are like, so we can go to parks, right? Is it an indoor park in your house? Then no, you can't. So, like, what if we take separate cars to brunch? Would that be no, that would not be acceptable. What are you asking questions for? When a scientist says stay inside, stay inside. It's not going to be the rest of your life. And it might be the rest of your life if you do go outside. Why are people so resistant to this? I don't get it. P.S. We went outside today. You gotta live, people. Am I right? And New York, by the way, is ramping up at an insane pace. New York, California. And it's amazing because if you listen to like Cuomo, you know, who's been good and like he has a nice presence. But if you listen to him, he says things that are inexcusable. Like a few days ago, he was like, look, people, stay inside. I think somebody was saying Al Pacino should play Andrew Cuomo in the eventual movie. And God willing, Pacino will not get the coronavirus, and that will come to pass. So Al, please, there's some really good acting work coming your way if you can just weather this storm. Stay indoors, wash your hands. Hooah! Hooah! Who? Corona what? Hooah! I'm not an impressionist. If you think I am gonna stay indoors, you, my friend, have got another thing coming. Vibes of joy and healing. Yes, so Cuomo definitely has made some missteps. He told people in one breath, he was like, stay indoors. Don't go outside. Only, you know, if it's like a necessary travel. And then in his next breath, he was like, but New York has wonderful parks. You know, we have wonderful parks. Go for a walk. Take your family out. You know, like, hey, have you been paying attention the last several months? Did you see China? Have you seen what's going on in Iran, Italy, Spain? Have you seen? People can go to a park another time. I don't get like why people, if everyone goes to the park, guess what? The virus is at the park. It's not like come to the park and just leave the virus. If you would, leave the virus at home. Pack a nice lunch. You know, bring whatever you would ordinarily. Bring a Frisbee. Just please be responsible. Leave the virus at home.
It's human nature, right? Human nature is to resist. It's to find like the, you know, why can't I do that? Why can't I stay 5 feet? Because it might save your life. That's why. It might save your life. That's one reason. Do you need a second? Reasons to stay home. It might save your life. Reason number 2. See reason number 1. You know, I'm a comedian. So correction. I was a comedian at one point. Now I'm a stay-at-home comedian. We can all put stay-at-home in front, like whatever you do. Just put stay-at-home in front of it. But at least we have celebrities singing to us, right? Imagine all the people living for today. Thank God we have the celebs turning John Lennon's Imagine into a Hallmark card for us. Imagine
that you're famous, then you could sing with us. Are you people insane? Are you insane? Was Mark Ruffalo in that? But that was the one that really hurt. I expected from a lot of those people. I expected. That's why they're famous. I expected from a lot of those people. I think Mark Ruffalo was he in there? I think he was in there. Who had that idea? Have you seen it, folks? Maybe you don't even know what I'm talking about. Who had that idea to sing John Lennon's Imagine? But celebs only. You may say I'm a dreamer. Did you notice the way that like none of them sang it the way John Lennon would? And I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us. Oh my God. Come on, people. How tone deaf can you be? Look into my moles. Look into my moles and tell me. This one, look into this one. It's more prominent. How could you think that's a good idea? If you get that text, can you imagine? I want to know the people that turned it down. That's what I want to know. I want to know the people who turned that down. Those are the real heroes. And I don't think people are grasping the enormity of this. I've turned a corner, and today's mood is panic. Today's mood is, what the hell are we doing? We're not taking this seriously enough. Things are out of control. Hospitals are currently or will very soon be overrun and ill-equipped to deal with it. So I'm of the mind everyone should be home. This is a virus. We can't see it. Where is it? We can't see it. So why not stay home? Stay home. Whatever virus is at home can't be as bad as this one. The virus of your roommates, the virus of whoever you're living with, cannot be as bad as the coronavirus. Stay home. People are in the parks. Have you seen the videos of people on the beaches in Florida? Spring break? Spring break. Enjoy your final spring break. I mean, I get it. I get that there's that human inclination to overcome, right? And to not be thwarted. There's that human inclination for life to go on. But sometimes life needs to stop, spring breakers. Sometimes, imagine there's no spring break. And that's the other thing, right? Is who's getting tested? Who can afford to get tested? Celebrities, Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson. I bet if his son Chet Hanks, does he go by Chet Hanks? Or does he go by Chetty Ranks? I bet if Chet Hanks was diagnosed with the virus, if Chet Hanks had the virus, he would not be able to get tested. He would call his father. He'd say, "Dad, I think I'm showing symptoms. Can you pull some strings?" He'd be like, "Hello, is this Colin?" "No, it's your other son. It's Chet." "Come on, B, you know who this is. You know who this is." "Sorry, Chet. You're with the rest of us. You're with the rest of us. Even though you made that video alerting the world, and we thank you." Have you noticed my hair, by the way? My Kurohawk. I think tomorrow I will reshave. I will reshave. And I realize it's a cross between a prepper, a midlife crisis, and a cry for help. But now is the time to panic. And by panic, I mean take shit seriously. Stay inside.
Don't stop going to work, all right? Stop going to work. It doesn't matter. Now is the time to detach from the mental constraints of capitalism. Look, my moles are talking to you. Now is the time to detach from the mental constraints of capitalism. It is all an illusion. Money does not exist. Money does not exist. Why do you think they created $1.5 trillion out of thin air? They pulled it out of their ass. I know I'm touching my face, but I've been inside for 10 days. I'm safe. But that is a good point. That is a very good point. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Imagine all the people living for today. Yeah. Money isn't real. Don't you find it curious that they can bail out repeatedly the banks, Wall Street, big corporations? Don't you think it's somewhat curious that Walmart is exempted from having to take care of its employees? This is my moles talking, by the way. It's not me. I can't control. They're way more radical. Don't you think it's curious? We need to detach ourselves from the illusion of this system giving a damn, right? George Carlin's American Dream, you have to be asleep to believe it. They don't care. They're right now figuring out how to monetize people's deaths in droves, what will likely be millions around the globe. That is their concern, first and foremost. Go on television with a suit and tie. Nobody that you see on television is going to have a Karo hawk. Nobody. You know that old thing, don't trust anyone under over 30? I'm going to say don't trust anyone who does not have a Karo hawk. That is where you need to be getting your information right now. Look at that. What am I doing? What am I doing? It's fun though. Are you guys doing any like crazy hair stuff? You got to change it up, folks. Change it up. We're in the midst of a global pandemic. Is that not sweet? Is that not a sweet Friday night Karo hawk? If this sweeps the globe, much like the virus, I'm sorry and you're welcome. I'm seeing a lot of you you washed your hair today. That's a big deal, you know? At times like this, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to get dressed, you don't have to... How many of you have stayed in your pajamas all day for at least one of these days? I've done it probably 3. Maybe kept the top on, changed the bottom the other times. I don't think I've had one full, like, new outfit this entire pandemic. But man, it is like a new reality, a new paradigm to just, there's nothing to do. Like as far as what you have to do, right? Our system is constantly built on the things you have to do. You must do this. To-do list today. You have to do this. A lot of them are things you don't even want to do. Oh, I got to do that. All right. All right, got to do that. None of that now. You don't have to do anything. So now what? What do you do when you don't have to do anything? Have any of you thought like of redesigning your whole life? Have you thought of like redesigning your whole life? Like, you know what? Fuck this shit. What have I been doing? You know? You ever have those moments? Like, fuck this, man. These kind of things are great for that, you know. Putting aside the whole global pandemic and people are dying and it's the worst thing that's happened in our lifetime, probably, on the mass level. All that aside,
these types of moments are a great time to be like, you know what? Fuck this shit. Fuck it. Fuck this. That. Definitely fuck that. Fuck that person. Right? Yeah, so hopefully you're making a nice list. The fuck that list. 2 columns. Fuck this and fuck that. And they should be equal. If you turn off your phone, even for one day, half a day, what do you do, man? If you go like no screens, go full Amish. Is that what that is? Can you imagine? I might do that. But I talk a good game. I'm the king of might. And it's a great way to live because you actually believe. If you're convincing enough to yourself, just the thought that you might do something is pretty exciting, you know? So make your list of mights for the pandemic. It's gonna be a couple months, probably. Make your list of mights, wake up, say, today I might, whatever. You'll feel a sense of excitement. No pressure to do it. But let's bring might back to to its proper place in society. Yeah, I might do 50 push-ups today. Didn't happen today, but what I'm saying is it's, like a good might list can be just as satisfying as like a to-do list. To-do list is a little pressure when we're processing the end of the world as we know it.
I know this is not the right comparison. I'm admitting that. This is not the right comparison. But have you felt like Anne Frank at all? I know it's not the right comparison. She was like an 11-year-old girl, right? I don't know what she was. She was hiding from the Nazis with her family. Sorry. All right. I didn't read the whole book. I don't know. I didn't read the whole book. I saw the play. Anyway, do you feel like Anne Frank? Look, I don't know. I that's my only reference of being stuck in a second floor apartment. We're not in the attic, but it's the second floor. Granted, we don't have to be quiet. My voice is pretty loud right now. It's 9 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, you're right. The comparison doesn't hold. But, we can't leave. We can and we can't. So I think it is appropriate on some level. If you work with me just a little. I'm doing pretty well. Despite the fact that I'm wearing the same shirt, but it becomes like a hug, like a self-hug. If you wear clothes for more than a day, and as many as 2 to 3, it becomes like a warm hug, When it gets into that smelly zone, then the hug is over. Then you need to social distance from your clothing. You know that I've had a bit of a persistent cough. I mean, persistent in quotes. But yeah, it's been an issue. So much so that I had a video conference with a doctor, like is that what it's called? Yeah, like a video consultation with a doctor, not my doctor. My doctor curses. My doctor is very casual. I almost want to see him because there would be a measure of just normalcy and comfort in him being like, this shit's fucked up, right? I'd be like, yeah, doc, it is. I never realized how much I need a doctor who curses. But now is the time. Because like when I used to, I went to him with other maladies and he'd be like, oh, that's fucked up. And I'd be like, doc, come on. Like you went to med school, right? Like where did they teach you to curse at your patients? Not that I need I'm not looking for some
bland automaton, but the cursing caught me by surprise. I'll say that. But now I pine for it. If a doctor doesn't curse at me, I feel like I'm not getting the right treatment. So anyway, I didn't get the cursing doctor. I had some other guy that they farmed out to me, and he was fine. He was great. He was a doctor, I guess. I mean, unless I guess it's entirely possible that they might be hiring actors now to just tell people you're fine. My sister's an actress, and she gets hired for stuff where like she has to pretend to be like a patient of some sort for medical students. So maybe the doctors are fake too. Now that maybe if I get my sister on one of these consultations, I'll know the whole thing is a fraud. Yeah, it is getting into Sling Blade territory. That was a great role, right? What did he say? Like, I like me some French fried potatoes. I like French fried potatoes. It's pretty good, right? Is that the second cough? I think that's the second. Judges? Second. People always say to me, and I find this offensive, they always say that I look like a murderer. That's the third one. But it was brought on by a laugh. You know, I think a laugh into a cough. Judges, the judges have ruled a laugh into a cough is fine. Oh, yeah. So I get that a lot. That, you know, where people are like, even my own wife says, she tells me I look like a murderer. And, you know, like, that hurts. It hurts my feelings, you know? And see, and that distinguishes me from a murderer because they don't have feelings, do they? I am still a comedian, god damn it. And I'll murder anyone who questions that. Especially with this hair now. I mean, Jesus Christ. I do look like I will give it to you. Now, I do. Now, I'll accept that. I do look like a murderer. But hopefully, if you take the time to get to know me, you know, I mean, I think I'm an amiable sort. My wife and I ventured out today, and by out, I mean our front stoop. It was a big decision. We sat down. A meeting was called. You would think we were the Von Trapp family, deciding to leave Austria over the mountains. Climb every mountain. I know I shouldn't have been doing that. How many rubs was it? Ford every stream. The sheer sense of freedom that we enjoyed by walking down a flight of steps and out onto a front stoop is immeasurable. I felt like Nelson Mandela, if that's not offensive. Who knows? I've been quarantined for a while, okay? My sense of right and wrong is askew. But I felt like, you know, maybe Winnie Mandela. I don't know. One of the Mandelas. So we made it safely. Safe passage to the front stoop. And then you're worried, like, okay, the neighbors, is anyone going to try to be friendly? You got to be very, very careful, you know? You got to be very, very careful because everyone is potentially a carrier. Your neighbor who you're friends with, you exchange waves usually. Now they are a danger, a grave danger to my family. Yes, I did go outside with this haircut. Anyway, so we were on the front stoop, and then another neighbor appears. A neighbor that we've never even talked to before. I think I've like waved hello to this woman. I'm taking a picture of my wife and son because we want to capture it for posterity. The time that we were outside. We're going to frame it and pass it down through the generations. That time that we went outside on the stoop, we'll call this shot. So I take the photo of my wife, and then the neighbor, she says hello, says the baby's adorable, all this, and we say thank you. We're like, thank you. we're done here. And then at the end, she's like, oh, would you like me to take a family photo? We're like, absolutely not. We are of the COVID-19. We are of the COVID-19 cult. What is it? Should it be we are of the COVID-19, stay away. I've never felt like more of a man than when I stood in front of my wife and child and said, no, you will not be taking any photos of us. My wife and I went out on the stoop for some air this afternoon, and our neighbor, elderly neighbor, was out there. So we were chatting him up, and we've become friends over, I guess, I would say the friendship solidified over like maybe the last, I'm going to say like the last 2 months that it really, like we were saying hi, we've lived here for, a couple of years now, but we finally broke through, like in the last couple months where you have conversations and you find out that your elderly neighbor is racist and voted for Trump. Why? I mean, of course, but why does it always go that way? It does not take those types of people long to mention, like if you're talking about the virus, and like, oh, this is crazy, right? Look, stay in the lane of small talk. Stay in the acceptable lane of like, oh, this is weird. What are we, what are we gonna do? It could be a while. This is crazy. Stay in that lane. You don't have to be like, oh, the Chinese, Come on. And what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Do you correct like a racist? An old racist? Because I think like those types go fishing. If they can reel you in, if they can, like, let me throw something derogatory about Chinese people out there. And I'm like, I'm not biting. He throws them out. And you always get the sense, if I bite, this could really get ugly. Right? It's your job as the non-racist. If there is such a thing, I know we're all compromised. We all have that virus, for sure, to varying degrees. But it's up to you to steer it, You have to get out of a conversation with a racist or steer it back to safer terrain. Get it somewhere where with common ground. Sports is always good. Oh, the Yankees, they're not playing. Back to the Chinese. March Madness, done. Back to the Chinese. There's no safe space now. You have to talk to the racists. There is no place to hide. The racists are coming for us, one conversation at a time. And by the end of this pandemic, maybe I'll be spouting off about the Chinese because my neighbor. That's not going to happen. I mean, look at me. Maybe I do. Maybe I do look like I could go either way, right? With this look, I could go hipster, like I got my own microbrew going and I play the banjo, or I could play the banjo and be a prepper. Either way, I play the banjo. But it's the difference is, am I playing like or am I playing like some sweet bluegrass, some like Steve Martin approved bluegrass? Isn't it sad that the only bluegrass musicians we know are named Steve Martin?
Do people know that like life we aren't just like going through this little period and then we go back to life the way it was? Do people understand that? That we don't like flip a switch like, well, that was weird. It's not like Nana's gonna be dead. That's what I'm trying to say. Life will not be the same, because 10% of your family will be dead. And only a fraction of those from coronavirus.
The others will involve probably misfired weapons. Vibes of joy and healing.
We're seeing bizarre things occurring. They're enlisting like retired medical personnel, retired doctors, nurses, medical students, anyone who knows CPR. Have you read a Dr. Seuss book? Were you a fan of Julius Dr. J. Irving? That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? We're calling people out of retirement. That's like if like LeBron is your doctor, and then all of a sudden Magic Johnson is your doctor. They call him out of retirement, which I'm not making an AIDS joke. If he was a doctor, I'm sure he would, take the proper precautions. It's not about that. It's just a coincidence that his name came to mind. I apologize for whatever you saw back there because I have not. I don't know what's going on back there. I don't think it's a party though. It's probably more of a disturbance. How do they describe what are those called? Mullet. Party in the back. What's in the front? Business? Is it business in the front? Yeah, business up front. So that's what I've got. I've got a failing business in the front and a disturbance in the back. So I played with my boy today, my 3-month-old boy. What a cute little guy. Man, he's fun. He's got a great temperament. He's made for this kind of shit. He's really even-tempered, but he will take you to task if you are coming up short, as I do from time to time. You know what's funny is like when you first become a parent, as I did a mere 3 months ago, even when my wife is pregnant, you judge everyone. You think you're going to be the, those parents, she's looking at her cell phone with her baby, like right there. Now we're like, can you move your head? I'm trying to scroll Twitter. Can you just get, I know, but it's inconvenient for me when I'm trying to scroll. If you can just... Anyone who's a parent out there knows the feeling of like trying to put them down, and you rock them and you got them and the head, you start to feel the head going, and when the head goes, like, oh, okay, all right, I think we can put him down. And then you put him down and he's like, no, it's not happening. And you're like, God damn it. And that'll go on sometimes 2 or 3 times, and you just want to watch some dumb movie. It's like your mother and I are still trying to have some sort of relationship with one another. Baby, I don't say it like that, but in my head I'm like, like we're trying to watch this tiger thing that everybody's talking about. Don't spoil it. We watched like the first 15 minutes of it, but then like he got in the way. He gets in the way of a lot of of our plans, but it's fine. It's great. All of it is great, but you put him down, right? The term premature ejaculation occurred to me when I was trying to get him down for a nap, because like you get him down and you think like this is going to be the one that takes, and then he's like, like he like gives you the halfway thing. So premature ejaculation is devastating, because sometimes it takes like a half an hour or more. Like it's weird to get annoyed at a baby. It's weird to be like, dude, come on, man. Go to sleep. That's what you do, right? You eat, you sleep, you shit. Like, this is one of your things. I'm trying to help you. But did you see the video of, there was this woman in like a a semi truck. Is that what they're called? Like a pickup truck. And she bought out at a dollar store, bought out all of the paper products. Like she was just, her and I think maybe her husband were loading up their pickup truck with paper products. And then she yelled out like Trump 2020 or something like that. Like imagine like clearing out a dollar store and then yelling out your candidate of choice for president. Imagine also like doing like the most selfish thing you can do. And then like capping it off by yelling out who you're voting for. Oh man, that's hilarious. I'm gonna go to my local supermarket and I'm gonna buy just a single roll of just a single roll. And I'm gonna be like, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders, bitches. That was a laughing cough. That wasn't a, please. And don't start commenting about Bernie Sanders, because I don't care what you think. I don't even care what I think. So I don't know. Where are you guys at? Where are you at with all this? It seems as though the wind is blowing towards, let's just move on. Let's get the bodies back to work. Right? You're hearing a lot of that? Let's just get folks back on those trains and buses and in close quarters so that the pandemic and we can kick off a second wave. Don't fall for it, folks. Do not go. Stay put. I think we need to fuck shit up. What form that needs to take, I don't know. I'm open to suggestions. Vibes of joy and healing. But just returning to work, not gonna cut it. Not gonna cut it. The veil has been lifted on our shithole country. Do you remember like 9/11, how there was no social media yet? In fact, like not even everybody had cell phones with cameras yet or video, right? It was still a time where you were dependent upon the news to find such things out. It's not like people were taking video, posting it online immediately, sharing it. So like imagine if there was Facebook back during 9/11 and somebody posts a picture of the first plane and you like it, because that's the only option back then. They didn't have like the sad face yet. You just like it. And then like you couldn't even unlike because the technology was still new. So like the like was permanent. And then like you're the asshole who likes 9/11. Like, way to go. Nice work, asshole. You're like, I didn't know. It was just like it was the first plane had hit. I didn't know that it was terrorism yet. The towers hadn't. I just, I clicked like because it was more of an, I'm interested, like, I'm curious. Tell me more. I hope everyone's okay. It was that kind of like. We're seeing it now in real time again with who's like you hear the word hero thrown around every day, right? The politicians can't praise the heroes enough. The nurses, the doctors, the medical workers, the essential frontline, people, the delivery people, heroes, right? But like, look, doctors and nurses and medical workers were heroes 3 months ago. And 6 months ago, and a year ago. They didn't become a hero. What they're doing is heroic, but it's made exponentially more heroic because they don't have any fucking
they don't have the supplies that they need. You know, so don't like praise them for being heroic when in fact their heroism is born of your incompetence. And that's why I'm asking for your vote this November. Just a little light Saturday night fare, right, guys? Are you guys feeling it? Oh, yeah. What's this? A little Scotch tape? A little Scotch tape? Don't people do their nose? That'll hurt, because we're getting crazy now. Oh, man. It's like a dance party. It's like a dance party. I was never a prop comic before. Have I mentioned I used to be a comedian? There was a time, my friends, when I was a stand-up comedian. That was a job in the teens and the aughts. It almost looks like I have a skull cap on now, right? I look like, what's Cat Stevens' name now? I listen to the wind of my soul. I look like Yusef Salam. Is that his name? Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. All right, my friends. All right, my friends. All right, my friends. All right, folks, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Wishing you well.
Wishing you peace, joy, calm, connectedness.
I offer you frankincense.
And until next time, friends, be safe, everyone. Be well.
Be well, friends.
Be well.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
We're doing it. We're doing it day by day.
Day by day, we're going through this. Vibes of joy and healing. Breathe deep. One more deep breath, perhaps. Why don't I do that more often? It feels so good. Love you guys. Love you guys. Love to you around the world. Thank you, Teddy Grammars. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching.
We will catch you next time.
Good night, my friends. And now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.